Somebody left me a comment the other day asking if there was anything that I missed about being in a band. And I thought that was a really good question, because I've said pretty clearly in other episodes that I have no regrets about walking away, but that doesn't mean I don't miss parts of it, because I definitely do. And today I'm going to talk about the things I miss the most. And I think some of them may surprise you because they're things that most people don't see. Now, I'm sure if you were to guess, you would say, well, he probably misses being on stage, or he misses the accolades or the attention. But that's really not the case. I loved all of that stuff, but I had plenty of that, and I'm doing fine without it. What I actually miss is not quite so obvious. To start off, the first thing is something that probably not all artists do miss when they walk away, but for me, it's huge. And that is the bond that I had with my bandmates during the writing process. There's just something almost spiritual that happens in the room when a song is actually born. We would just be sitting around tossing ideas back and forth. Like we'd have melodies and lyrics, and one of us would either be playing the piano or the guitar and just pounding out chords. And then all of a sudden, something would click, and we'd all look at each other. And it was like, you didn't have to say anything. We just knew we had landed on an idea. And that feeling, that moment, you just can't replicate that by yourself. That is a chemistry thing. It's a trust thing. And it's weird because you all pour your guts out, and somehow you walk away with a song that didn't exist an hour ago. And I gotta tell you, that's a kind of high that you don't come down from easily. I remember the day that we actually wrote Life is Beautiful. We were out at Nikki's studio, which was called Funny Farm, which was just this big open kind of warehouse with some recording gear in it. Really cool place. And the three of us were hanging out. And Nikki and DJ had already kind of started this idea. They had a guitar riff going, and I think DJ even had some melody lines going for the verses of the song. And the three of us got together, and we just started vibing on this song. And I started singing some lyrics and some melodies, and all of a sudden the three of us were just like, oh my God, this is crazy. Let's follow this. Where is this going to take us? Now, if you're a songwriter, you know that those kind of moments are rare. And when they happen, you remember them. Because that's what we're all hoping for, is a moment where everything comes together and everyone in the room is on the same page. And that's exactly what happened with Life is Beautiful. That song came together really fast once we all kind of looked at each other and said, oh man, this is special. And I gotta tell you, those are some of the most alive moments I've ever experienced. It wasn't about success. It wasn't about the charts. It was about us being a team, being, I don't know, unstoppable. We were creating something that mattered to all of us. And I miss that more than I can even explain. That is just a magical thing. And I'm grateful for those moments. The second thing that I miss is something I just loved. And that's the brotherhood that came from being on tour. Not just with the guys in my own band, but with the crew and the techs and the drivers, and especially the other bands that we shared the road with. You know, there's just this unspoken understanding between people that have lived that life. It's exhausting and it's chaotic and it's beautiful and brutal at the same time. I kind of feel like we were always tired, like we were never really settled, but we were in it together. And when you run into other bands on the road, guys that you know and respect and love, you're just like, you guys get it. You know what this is. Like there's just this instant bond. For me, some of the best parts of tour weren't even the shows. They were other moments, you know, like sitting in catering or you'd pass somebody in the hall that you hadn't seen in a while and you would just stop and talk and catch up on their lives, or you'd catch them up on your life. And there was just always this unspoken understanding that you were both in a similar situation. You understood what the other person felt like and what they were going through. Like, you know, this person is probably missing their family, missing their kids, missing their dog, and you're missing your family, you're missing your home, but you're out there doing a job. So you both just acknowledge that. It doesn't have to be said. And that was a really powerful thing for me. I found it comforting, and it helped me a lot. And another thing that I just loved about that was that you might not have seen this person in months because they were on a different tour than you were, and then your paths just happened to cross on this particular night in this particular city. And I always loved that about being a road dog. It was exciting. I remember one time in specific, we were on a European tour, and I was feeling especially homesick, and I was just kind of down. And I think we were doing the Download Festival on this particular day, and everyone, all of the bands were there, you know, all of our friends, Hailstorm and Disturbed and Shinedown. I mean, the list was long. They were all there. And I remember going to this kind of community area backstage, and I was just feeling so low, and I saw all of those people, and it just immediately lifted my spirits. In that moment, I was just happy to see all of their smiling faces, and it was exactly what I needed in that moment. I needed that connection with those people. And to be honest with you, I don't think that kind of connection exists that often out in normal life. And it's one of the things that I miss the most. That feeling of being in a family where everyone is just trying to survive out there in the chaos. You know, you're just out there trying to make something beautiful. I guess I would say the best way I could describe it is you're in a tribe. And when I left the road, I left that tribe, and that was a loss I just wasn't prepared for. I really miss all of those people. And the last thing that I miss is a little bit different. It's the energy that surrounds releasing new music. Like that moment right before the world hears what you've been working on. I just love that. It's so exciting because you spend months, if not years, writing and recording and tweaking and obsessing about things, and then suddenly it's time. And the record label is gearing up, and the fans are speculating as to what it's going to be, and it's just like your entire team is all in. And for that brief window, it feels like everything is building towards something really important. Oh man, I have so many stories about that, but I'll tell you about one in specific that just really sticks out to me to this day. And that was when we were getting ready to release the song Stars. Now, Stars was a song on our Modern Vintage album. And for any of you that don't know, Modern Vintage was my favorite 6 a.m. album. I just loved that album for so many reasons. But Stars in particular was the song that I was the most excited about releasing that out into the world because, number one, I just loved that song so much. It just meant so much to me, and I felt like it was 6 a.m. at our best. And so there was just so much anticipation when the time came for us to release that particular song. And I knew it was going to connect with people. I knew they were going to like it. I knew radio was going to like it. It was just one of those rare moments where I had very little doubt. And I just remember for days, if not weeks, prior to the release of that song, just being giddy. Like, I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was just a kid on Christmas Day. There's just no feeling like that. Not in any other part of life that I've experienced. It's like a surge of adrenaline. And it's all tied to something that you helped bring into the world. I miss that feeling, man. That sense of momentum. That belief that what you made may actually matter. So, yeah, man, I don't regret walking away. Not for a second. But that does not mean I don't miss parts of it, because I do. I really do. Those things I described today, they made me feel alive. And I hope I've done a good job describing it, because I feel like it's hard to put into words. But I tell you, those memories for me, they're important. They keep me going. They make me so proud. They make me so grateful. And I carry them with me every single day. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please hit the like and subscribe button and leave me a comment. I always love hearing from you. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.